I'll be hanging out with you. And I believe you said thumbs up. Good to go?
Yeah, we're good to go.
Okay. So welcome in, welcome in. Let's see who's our first shopper. Danielle, Francisco, or no, Francois. Ooh, that's fancy. Francois. Janet is out there. Freedom. Max has joined us. Welcome in. Happy Tuesday. So we have a variety show for you. And if you have not heard, we actually have the clearance that's been kind of extended. And so even during the live show on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, we're offering you some really great clearance prices that you all have the chance to take advantage of. So I'm pretty excited about that. Again, I'm Jessica. If you have any questions while I'm kind of moving through some of these items that we're featuring, please let me know. Last thing I want to do is move on from something or perhaps keep moving through the show and not answer all those questions that you have. Keep in mind too, when you go to shoplc.com, if you are watching online, there'll be a little box on the bottom which you'll see me show up on. You can click on that and that'll give you access to the live show. If you're on Facebook or Instagram, you're going to put the word sold and then 101, 102, 103, 104. So we'll stay in order, but we're going to kick off the show with our first item. And then for those of you on TikTok, TikTok is pretty simple. You're going to click on the link below and that's going to give you access to the current running auction. So all of these are auction per se. You pay the final low price, which we're going to talk about here. We're going to kick off the show with a beautiful, is that it? The heart and arrow?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So I'm excited about this because we're actually kicking it off with one of my personal favorite facets. And I've talked about this in the past. So we're going to feature a 3-stone moissanite ring. And if you don't know anything about moissanite, you will in just a few seconds. This is actually the talk of any kind of high-end luxury designer that's featuring, a bridal collection, an engagement ring, anything that sparkles. A lot of people are writing articles in regards to moissanite because in terms of the light, how the light reflects in and out of moissanite, there's more fire than a diamond in moissanite. Let me say that again. There is more fire in moissanite than a diamond, which is a really big deal. So what happened was in the 1800s, they discovered basically this material called moissanite. It was actually discovered by a gentleman named Henry Moissan. And he named it after himself. Well, after doing the mining, he found that this was actually one of the most beautiful gemstones he could discover. But after digging and digging and digging and trying to look for more of it, he found that moissanite comes in very small sizes. So he decided early on to recreate it. He took the material in the lab to recreate moissanite. That was the birth of moissanite. It took him about 100 years to finally get it right. And they held a patent to the entire process of recreating it in the lab. But after the patent expired, everybody wanted to get their hands on moissanite and really just kind of create this material so that they can add it in bridal collections. I mean, literally, what happens is with diamonds that look like moissanite are going to be what's called colorless diamonds. So there'll be F, there'll be E, and then D, and then, flawless diamonds. So typically when you're dealing with flawless diamonds, you're going to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars. So, a lot of people are saying, look, I want the fire, I want the brilliance, I want something that delivers like a diamond, but who the heck wants to pay diamond prices? I don't know about you, but I'm all about, again, value and bargains and, deals. And so moissanite is the way to go. You literally have these high-end designers that, oh, by the way, this is only $59.99. I know I go off, I just get into, all the information and don't necessarily give you price. So $59.99 for this beautiful classic 3-stone ring. You do have a budget pay option. Each of the gemstones are going to be 5 to 6.5 millimeters. So what you have is the center moissanite is a 6.5 millimeter, and then the two on the outside are 5 millimeter. We're talking 1.75 carats in a classic 3-stone design. And this one is quite special because you have it in vermeil rose gold over sterling, which is like a huge trend. A lot of fashionistas that I've talked to, friends, family members, and Shop LC clients and customers, many of you have felt the same way that I do, where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm addicted to 925 sterling silver, but when I was introduced to your rose gold or your yellow gold over sterling collection, mwah, I fell in love. And so that's what's happening these days. We're introducing a lot more of these 4.8 out of 5. And a lot of people are saying great things. And when I say a lot, I'm talking like 60 people plus. It's one of these items where if you click on the review section of the piece, you're going to see that a lot of people are talking about this item and just raving about how absolutely stunning, moissanite is. So I'm going to read you some of the reviews here in just a moment. Remember, $59.99. Also wanted to point out hearts and arrows. So that's the faceting that I was telling you about just a few minutes ago. I'm going to talk you through that, but let me get some reviews in. I want you to hear this because a lot of people are talking. So Brian says, absolutely love it. Christmas gift for my wife, and she absolutely loves it. Gentlemen, hello, knock, knock. We're knocking on your door. I mean, if you want to wow your sweetie pie with something that sparkles, something that's intense, something that looks like a diamond, and more importantly, something that high-end luxury designers are selling as a bridal collection kind of piece, a lot of people are saying, I don't want to pay $4,000, $15,000, $20,000 for a diamond. I'd rather pay less and have something that looks like a diamond. Instead of you going with CZs, go with moissanite. Another review that came in, Michelle, she said, bought mostly due to feedback. My first, what is that, foray into moissanite? Yes. All right, sure is more sparkly than cubic zirconia at the same price. See, this is what I'm talking about. If you have never purchased a moissanite, you need to take advantage. If you love cubic zirconias just as much as I do, you've got to take advantage of the moissanite because, again, more fire than a diamond. And for me, cubic zirconias, from time to time, depending on how they're cut, they kind of look like CZs, right? They just have this kind of sparkle that doesn't necessarily, it's too good to be real. You're like, I mean, here at Shop LC, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I didn't wear CZs for my wedding. When I tied the knot, I did purchase at the time it was called Elanza collection. I purchased these beautiful kind of dangle style earrings that I wore as I walked down the aisle. I got this beautiful ring that I wore for my reception after I tied the knot. What else? Oh, I had the station style necklace it was all CZ. And so just keep that in mind. I know that some people, are hesitant with purchasing something that sparkles but isn't necessarily diamonds. I recommend it. People will think that they're diamonds, and that's such a great deal. For just under 2 carats of moissanite, 3-stone design in rose gold over sterling, $59.99. I mean, it's quite the deal. All right, so coming up next, we have, this is a pretty one. Okay, we got a lot of good cuts. So the hearts and arrow faceting that I was just talking to you about, it's the way they cut the actual moissanite on the other side. So literally the faceting on the back of the round cut moissanites, they go in a very unique kind of heart. And then the way they cut on the back is literally in the shape of an arrow. That's why they call it hearts and arrow. Well, this cut is called the Asher cut. And the Asher cut was started by the Asher brothers, or actually the father of the Asher brothers. The Asher brothers continued and followed, kind of tradition and continued on with the business. So I say that to say this. The original reason why Asher cut was invented was because they wanted to find a way to really enhance the way a diamond sparkled. Okay, so the Asher cut is actually a step cut faceted gemstone, and I love to talk about this because it's so important. When you see the gem and you see the difference between a square cut and an Asher cut, or even a square cut and a radiant cut, it's different. Literally, you can see it's almost like an antique cut is the best way for me to describe an Asher cut. Because what you have here is, first of all, this beautiful color. This is that pink color. If you love pink diamonds, pink sapphires, anything pink, which is like 2023, that's all I talked about personally because it happened to have been the color of the year. Radiant orchid, you have all these pink gemstones. Well, the color of the year last year was Viva Magenta. So when I was doing rubelites or pink sapphires, things like that, pink diamonds, I mean, people were going absolutely bananas over these pink gemstones. Of course, we're in 2024. You know, the saga continues. Who doesn't love the color pink? Feminine, sexy, glamorous, all the above. So back to the Asher cut. So the Asher cut is actually step cut faceted. So in the middle, you see this square shape. But then when they cut it, they cut on the back of the gemstone in a parallel fashion, right? Boop, 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 all the way down. And they go on all four sides parallel. Boop, 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 boop. I just, you know, just for cause and effect. But then what happens is, even though it's a square, they start cutting at an angle on the outside of the square. Does that make sense? I mean, you can literally see it here, right? So you have this step cut, right? Facet, facet. And then you see the way on the edges here. And if you have an opportunity, I always suggest that you click on the picture so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. When you see it in person, it's when you're going to go goo goo gaga. If you ask me what my favorite cut is, I'm going to tell you Asher cut, and then I'm going to tell you princess cut. It's a modern kind of antique-like cut that looks so amazing on. So this is actually going to be $103.99. It is a pink moissanite. Right now, the color moissanites are very expensive. If you look around to see what white moissanites sell for in the jewelry stores that we talked about, forget about it. People are paying, let me see, the other day while I was live on air, we showed a comparison of a moissanite that was like a third of a carat. Guess how much it cost? I'll wait. $800 plus. So we're talking about a lot of money people are paying, and that was just for like a quarter of a carat to a third of a carat. And these were small little pieces of moissanite. So this is not small at all. I mean, we're talking about, look how pretty that is. It's rich, it's radiant, it's pink, it's feminine. You have the center gem, which is a 1.65 carat, so it's big. And then you have the white moissanites on the outside, which is surrounding it. Those are going to be 1.5 millimeter. So you have some really nice kind of detail work in this, although they kept it classic and simple. If you want something that's going to pop, and the best news, I'm going to show our Facebook, Instagram first, and then I'm coming over to TikTok. The best part about this is that you also get the chain with your purchase. And I'm not saying that we don't usually send chains. Every now and again we don't. Most of the time we do, but with this, $103.99. Do we have any comparisons on?
Double check on that.
We're going to double check on moissanite because I want you guys, and if you don't have an opportunity, well, here's what I would suggest. Since most of you are on your cell phone, bring up your favorite search engines so you can do a little research on moissanite. Once you find moissanite, what you're going to find is a lot of high-end designers are literally taking moissanite and putting it into their, and I use the word engagement and bridal because every time you associate those two words with a sale, cha-ching, right? The price goes up significantly. Most of us expect to pay top dollar when we're dealing with engagement or bridal accessories. And so what are designers doing? Because moissanite is compared to the fire, more fire than diamonds, not the same, more fire. They're going to deliver more fire than diamonds, the brilliance. They're using it in their collections and they're charging top dollar. Even other home shopping networks, which I love, I enjoy watching other home shopping networks just to kind of see what they have. Look how pretty that is. Isn't that gorgeous? I mean, good night. Mindy, shout out to you. Shetty's out there. Kelly's joining us. Carol is shopping. Hello, ladies. Good to see you. Connie is out there. Lynn. Hussein is also watching. Gentlemen, so glad to see you stop by. This is a 5-star reviewed item, okay? $103.99 for a moissanite, pink moissanite that's nearly a 2 carat in the center. And it's actually 2 carats total gem weight. And let me show you the back too, because the way we finish these, it's just perfect. The additional detail that you see on the back end of all these beautiful pieces, stunning. That's all vermeil, rose gold over sterling. The chain is going to be, this is a curved chain. It's 18 inches. We are going to keep moving. I could spend forever talking about moissanite, but
real fast. I don't have a good comparison for this one, but just to show how
absolutely
moissanite is.
Absolutely, yeah. We're going to bring up some moissanite. So we were able to find a cute little moissanite. This one is 5 by 5 millimeter. That's okay. that is actually going to cost you a lot more money. And this is what I'm talking about. Look at the size of the moissanite pendant. Now, moissanite, just like colored gemstones, and in this case, you have a pink moissanite. The colored moissanites tend to be pretty pricey. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. The smaller gems will always cost you less money than the larger gems. You would expect, look, quote unquote, right? You would imagine. This moissanite pendant, which is like a little journey pendant, $840. And the weight here, guess what? 40 points. Hold on. You don't see it, but it is coming up here on the side. It's a 40-point moissanite. Yours is a 2 carat. And remember, most of that carat weight is coming from the pink moissanite. So this is the reason why I'm always asking you to challenge us. I want you to go out there or go online. It's now accessible to you. Look it up. You know, look around, challenge us. I don't want you to just take my word for it. I want you to feel comfortable, confident when you shop with me, when you shop with us here at Shop LC, so that you know, look, when Jessica says that, you know, this is the case, I've looked it up, I've double checked, you know that I'm speaking the truth. I'm not here trying to, you know, twist your arm or get you to buy something that isn't. It is what it is. Moissanite is very expensive, and today here at Shop LC, $103 and some change with the budget pay option. Don't forget to use that budget pay option. You always have a payment plan available to you most of the time, depending on the price. But I always recommend that you use the budget pay option. Oh my gosh, I'm excited. The team has me distracted behind the scenes. They're getting the next item ready. Wait till you see these. We literally have antique style. These earrings, I don't know about you, but these earrings look like they've been around, you know, in the Queen's collection or in the Princess's collection for quite some time. Look at these. Aren't they gorgeous? Now behind me, you see the model. She's rocking it. As you're shopping with us online, you can always go either to the link below for those of you that are watching on TikTok, or if you're on Facebook or Instagram. The number here is sold 103. 103, right? We're on the third item. So this is a 75-point square cut. These are, oh, wait till you see these. And wait, and these are actually going to be vermeil yellow gold over sterling. I love, love, love. I'm going to step away real quick. I love the fact that we have, these actually look like two-tone. They have that two-tone feel. I'm going to put these on. You better believe it. I want you to see these live so you have a chance to see how stunning they are. And they come with a little acrylic disc, not little, these are actually quite big. You see the size of that? So the acrylic disc backs are the perfect size for earrings like this, because what they do is, ready, boom. They hold them upright. Tell me that doesn't look like a pair of diamond studs. You know they do. I'm not hearing you if you're trying to say that they don't. So these are square cuts. So 47 points in the square cut. These are 3.5 millimeter. And let me see here. Oh, so 40 diamonds. This is the best part about it. I wanted you to see you have 20 diamonds around that center square cut moissanite, and that's actually going to be a square radiant cut, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see, make sure. Oh yeah, that's a square radiant cut. So the Asher cut, you can tell the Asher cut because with the Asher cut, what happens is you have the square in the middle, and then you have those step cut. You'll see. See, I know I'm explaining this to you, and some of you are like, really? When you get these cuts home, you'll see the difference right away. So a square radiant cut, remember, it's in the shape of a square, and you can always tell it's a radiant cut when it has an X in the middle. Like when you see the actual gemstone and there's almost like an X, the way they cut it, it makes it look like there's an X. Not the actual stone itself, but you'll see, you can actually see the facets run at a diagonal in the middle of the gemstone. And it's not just moissanite or diamonds that are cut into a square radiant cut. You have colored gemstones that are also cut in this way to really deliver in terms of the way the light sparkles through that gemstone, especially in the natural sunlight. Want to give a shout out to Marlene. Hi, Marlene. Beverly's just now joined us. Charvel is out there. Welcome in. So these are going to be $39.99. I'm actually getting these. I have never seen these. I didn't even know we had these in stock. They are 5-star rated. And I don't know about you, but I love earrings that take up the entire earlobe. You know, it's nice to have a pair of classic studs that are a little bit smaller, but this style, these are different. These take up a lot of real estate, right? A lot of that lobe, lots of sparkle. So let's see here. Bud says, beautiful, bigger than I expected, but looks great with my diamond huggies. You see what I'm saying? You wear moissanite with actual diamonds. Some of you are going to be like, shame on these diamonds I purchased back in the day. Because the thing is, when you compare moissanite, you have to compare moissanite if you're going to compare it to a diamond. It's a D-flawless diamond. And most of us, I can only speak for me. Most of you are rolling in the dough. I get it. Not me. I just don't. So D-flawless diamonds, I've seen them. I've fallen in love with them. But what happens is when you look at the price tag, you're like this, ugh. You walk out of the store empty-handed, right? You're like, oh, okay. You know, let me sleep on it. I'll get back to you. Thank you for showing me that. Thank you for your time. Goodbye. Okay, so another shopper, Suzanne. Suzanne says, everything I wanted in an earring, a smaller size with a lot of glitz. And I don't know if I'd call this small. You be the judge. Definitely a lot of glitz. But this, again, takes up the earlobe. And these are only $39.99. They are 925 sterling silver. They have the vermeil process, vermeil yellow gold over sterling. Vermeil is an actual legal term that you use. You have to have a certain amount of layers of gold in order to call it vermeil. But the process is done because we're a manufacturer. We've been manufacturing jewelry for over 45 years. We actually have a machine that keeps track of the overlay process. You have to have a minimum of 2.5 microns, but we start at 4. And then we're talking 120 layers of gold over top of silver, if you can imagine that. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, you've got a silver setting, right? Before you put that moissanite in, they have to dip it in gold, 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 more gold, more gold, more gold. So the vermeil yellow gold over sterling silver process, we try to use as often as possible just to provide you with longevity. And these are going to last you forever. Seriously. $39.99. Go get yourself a pair of moissanite studs. These are gorgeous. All right, what's next? Let's see what we have next. By the way, thank you all so much for stopping by. I know that when you're watching social media or some sort of live show, I'm trying to keep you as entertained as possible so you can stick around. Coming up next, I think you're going to want to stick around for this. We have a moissanite, maybe
around
a moissanite bracelet. Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. So we have the perfect. Now, if you've ever dreamt of owning a diamond bracelet, like I knew back in the day, it wasn't until my husband, I'm not going to say I don't have a diamond bracelet. My husband did get me a diamond bracelet. If he was watching this, he'd be like, really? You're going to say that you don't have one? My husband purchased a diamond bracelet for me. But the only reason why I have a diamond bracelet is because my husband got it for me, right? It's one of those things where you look at it, you're like, oh my gosh, that's so pretty. I would love to have a diamond. And then again, I'm price sensitive. I'm frugal. I'm not cheap. I'm frugal. So when you look at the price tag of a diamond bracelet, especially the one that I'd be interested in, I'm like, ooh, what do they call it? They call it champagne taste with beer money. Me all day, all day. I'm not even going to sit here and tell you any different. I am one of these people that fall in love and I won't do it. Like some of these handbags that they charge crazy money for. I've got a friend, one of the hosts here at Shop LC, who's a friend of mine. She will get one of those bags and be proud and will rock it. I will never buy that type of bag because I just feel guilty. I'd look at the bag and say, gosh, I switch out my bags so often. I'm like, I wouldn't spend that kind of money, right? I could still get top-notch quality leather for less. And I don't tell people about who I'm wearing. I'm just not one of these people that are into designer brands. That's just not me. And nothing against you if you're all about the designers. That's fabulous. But at the same time, I say that to say this. This is a way to get your hands on a diamond-like bracelet for less money. $299.99 for this. And let me tell you something. What you will compare this to, if you own a diamond bracelet, I challenge you. I want you to put this next to your diamond bracelet. And when you do that, you're going to be like, really? I mean, there's no comparison. Because what happens is with diamonds are graded by color and clarity. What's unique about the color thing is that people are like, well, why is it graded by color? They use the alphabet, but yet the colorless diamonds they start at F, E, and D. Those are the colors, right? They just go by alphabet. But then people are like, well, if it's colorless, why is it that we're, calling it color? That's just the way they grade diamonds. They grade it by clarity, and then they grade it by color. The least amount of color, the whiter, the purer that diamond is, the more expensive it is, obviously. That's going to be, again, that starts at F, E, D, and then D flawless, and forget about it. And then you have your clarity, which is you've got I's, you have SI's, and then you have the VS's and the VVS's. We've all heard of that, right? So anyway, I say that to say this. Moissanite is compared to a D flawless diamond that's like a VVS. And so you have these round, brilliant cut moissanites that are absolutely stunning. I promise you, when you wear your moissanite, nobody will be able to tell the difference. In fact, I'm glad I said that because that made me think of something. When moissanite was first being created in the lab, and the reason why this gemstone is lab created, right? Remember, lab created stone is made up of the same chemical makeup as its natural counterpart. That's another thing I wanted to put out there, because some people are like, well, what does it mean to lab create versus a CZ, right? Like a cubic zirconia, a simulated gemstone. So simulated gemstones are not made of the same chemical makeup. Simulated gemstones are made in the lab to look like something, but your CZs are going to have a lot of sparkle. If you're somebody who loves glitz and glamour, a lot of times people will buy CZs. Lab-created gemstones, lab-created rubies, lab-created sapphire, lab-created emeralds, these are gems that are, the natural gem is taken in the lab, and it's literally the identical twin of its natural counterpart, which I was blown away by. When I first learned this years ago, I was like, well, wait a minute. So you're telling me, and it's like what happens is when you discover these natural gemstones in the ground, most of them have to be enhanced or treated in some way. So when they're treated, obviously they come out looking their best. Well, sometimes it takes millions of years. Sometimes they never find this material again. Sometimes the material is better in other places than, found, say, in South America or Madagascar. So what they do is they lab create the stones to basically the same optical, chemical, physical property as a natural gem. They make that in a lab setting, okay? So it's carefully made in a lab. So if you tested it, I say that to say this, if you tested the gemstone, it's going to have the same chemical makeup. Well, moissanite, when it was first made in the lab, a lot of people, bad people, were selling moissanite as genuine diamonds. And the reason why I say bad is because, well, diamonds are going to be more valuable in the market than moissanite. Moissanite is made in the lab. It's made in a controlled kind of environment. They basically, recreate it perfectly. And so anything that's found in the ground that they chip out of rock, obviously it's like a one of a kind, so you're going to pay more money for that. It's almost like a piece of artwork, an original piece of artwork that you buy, that artist made. It's not the copy. The copy is much more affordable, but the original is going to cost you a small fortune. I don't know about you, but I'm getting a copy. It's just me. So anyway, I say that to say this. Moissanite originally was being sold as diamonds. When they finally discovered that that's what was happening, they had to come up with a way to test moissanite so that they can test the fire and the refractive index properly so they can determine whether or not it's moissanite or diamonds. That's how good moissanite is. I mean, this stuff is top-notch quality. So the bracelet here is $299.99. Get it if you're into diamonds. Don't put the CZs aside for a little bit if you're into cubic zirconia and you love the white CZs. I'm telling you, if you have a few in your collection, you get moissanite, you're going to be addicted. This is a box closure bracelet. I'm going to slide it off because it's a little bit larger, and then I'm going to move on here. I know I kind of went off, but I think it's important that you learn about moissanite so you know the difference. So that's going to be your box closure. You see that? It's got the double latches, one on each side. And you're going to slide that right in, and it snaps in place. Hold on, with or without the latch. Let me move that little latch to the side. There we go. Boom, snaps right in place. So even without the latch secured, you're still going to have a secure bracelet, but we add the two latches there. Hi, Nadia. Hi, Coco. Does it say mom? Hi, mom. I'm like, is that mom? Is it my mom? But this one is vermeil yellow gold over sterling. Perfect birthday gift. The faceting on this is really well made. The more facets you have, again, faceting is the way they cut a gemstone on the back, sometimes on the table, on the surface. The more facets, the more light travels through that gemstone. In this case, it's moissanite. You've got fire, you have brilliance. When you're out and about and you're rocking this, people are going to be like, girl, that diamond bracelet is everything. What was the carat weight real quick on that? That's okay. The carat weight was
15.35.
So 15.35 carats. And did we have it in other finishes? Did we have the?
Yeah, we have one more.
6.5, 7 1/4, and 8 inch. The silver is available. I think it is sold out in the 8, or is it available?
7.5.
Okay, so if you wanted that bracelet, this one in silver instead of vermeil yellow gold over sterling, you can get it for that. It's a little more expensive at $529.99. But I would suggest getting the yellow. Anyways, the yellow gold over sterling is the way to go if you can do it, right? But yeah, check that out on our website. This is going to be for our Facebook and Instagram, sold 105.
Yeah.
104?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, 104. All right, we're moving on. I think that's it for moissanite, if I'm not mistaken. And I wanted to give you a little bit of education on this gemstone so that we're all on the same page. I mean, moissanite is something that, the luxury world is talking about. This is not just us here at Shop LC. You will spend thousands of dollars on moissanite in any department store, any retail store, any luxury store, or any home shopping network. They have it. They make it available, but it's at a much higher price point. We always beat the competition. With that said, Nyasa Ruby, King of the Gems. King of the Gems. Okay, so I'm a ruby baby. I get a little excited over this stuff. This is a ruby ring. Real deal. Real deal. Oh, we're going to talk FF too, because I know a lot of you are going to be like, okay, what does this mean? What does FF mean? And I think there's this misconception. And I've talked to my husband about this because he's like, well, is it treated or is it natural? And I'm like, they're all genuine, but most gemstones have to be treated in some form or fashion. He's like, I don't believe it. I'm like, really? You telling me? I mean, I kind of went to school for this, and then, I have to get into it. He likes to know the why. And I think that's one of the reasons why I really get technical on air from time to time, because some of you might be out there watching thinking, what does this mean in parentheses? So Nyasa rubies are from the Nyasa mine in Mozambique. They're genuine rubies, right? This one is 1.8 carats. It's set in vermeil yellow gold over sterling, and it's stunning. With Fisher-filled gemstones, and this is a process that the ruby has to undergo. Well, first of all, let me give you the carat weight here. The center gem is, 1.78 carat. Look at that. That's a big one. So fissures are grooves. So the best way for me to describe a fissure, we have fissures in our teeth. Okay, so sometimes, I don't know if you've been to the dentist and the dentist is kind of scraped on the surface of your teeth, and some of us have more grooves on the surface of our teeth, right? Those are fissures. So it's the same kind of situation with gemstones. Gemstones, the rocks themselves, when they're cut out, sometimes there are fissures, the cracks, in the gemstone that need to be filled. That's why it's called FF. It stands for fissure filled. So they fill it with minerals. They fill it with really minerals is what they fill it with. And what this does is it fills in the gemstone all the way, so you get this the entire gemstone is this pure color that ruby comes in. Does that make sense? Because sometimes when you're cutting out of a piece of rock, right, minerals, gemstones are found in rough, literally pieces of rock, right? When they're mining, they're chipping away, or sometimes they're excavating the rock with high-tech materials. Sometimes they do it by hand. But the bottom line is these gemstones, these minerals are found inside of the rock. And so when they chip away at that rock and they loosen it up and they bring it out and they find material that's quality enough to be they dig deeper from that point on to make sure, it's going to turn out absolutely stunning. Sometimes a process or a technique has to be used in order to ensure we have the best quality. And so a lot of times these jewelry stores, they don't talk about it. They just don't. I've spoken to sales associates in the past, and I've asked them questions about gemstones that I already knew the answer to. Yeah, I know. You all are like, you're bad. But I'll be like, oh, so, where is this ruby from? And they're like, let me go get my, manager. Or, oh, is this a treated gem or is this natural? Or again, most of the time gemstones are treated. People get really uncomfortable with those questions, but I think it's something to talk about. It's just, I feel like when we're informed consumers, then we can make better decisions. These are genuine rubies. They're found in Mozambique. Some of them are fissure filled, some of them are not. Some of them actually come from the Montepuez mine. Those are not going to be fissure filled. Some of them will be. A lot of emeralds, a lot of sapphires. They're all heat treated or diffused. They're different treatments. So in this case, just so you know, this is a fissure filled ruby, and you have the richest. And for me, what happens is, in order to get this quality of a ruby, usually people have to buy lab created stones. Remember, I was telling you that they'll take the material into the lab to recreate it. Do you guys have a minute to maybe research a lab created ruby?
Sure.
I want to show this to you because, again, I don't want you to just take my word for it. Some of you are like, lab created rubies are more expensive. Watch. This one is a $39.99 ruby from the Niassa mine in Mozambique. Okay? I'm going to show you, hopefully, this is nearly 2 carats. So it's a like 1.78 carat. And then you have these beautiful little zircons. There are 4 zircons surrounding that ruby. That's all real deal. $39.99 is all you're paying. So if you do some research on rubies, lab created, or even a red CZ will cost you more money than the $39.99 ruby we're bringing you from Mozambique. It is what it is. Oh, here's the hand behind us. But no, I mean,
Let me show you
39.
this one.
Yeah, please do. Oh, well, look what we have here. So, lab created. Nothing wrong with lab created. We do lab created here at Shop LC. Nothing wrong with it. Sometimes you need a little. The lab created is going to give you what most rubies dream of looking like, right? I mean, that's what they're doing. They're taking the best quality into the lab to recreate it. And remember, it's got the same chemical, physical, optical properties as its natural counterpart. What do they call it? A doppelganger? Is that what they call it? When somebody, they'll be like, oh my gosh, I saw somebody that looked just like you, your doppelganger. But lab created. But the difference is it's got the same chemical, physical, and optical property. I say that to say this. Look at the price, $119.20. $119.20. So the original price was $149. Today here at Shop LC, $39.99. BB, April, Elder, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like the page, share the page, let friends and family members know about Shop LC. We are practically giving away rubies, right? $39.99. That's it. 5-star rated. If you want to check out the ratings, please make sure you do. We're going to keep moving, though, just to ensure that I bring you as much variety as possible. So that's going to be sold 106.
Sorry, 5.
5? Oh, see? I got you, DJ. So it's sold 105. That's our 5th item in the show. We're moving. Oh, I've never seen this. One of the things that I love about the live stream and also our clearance event is that I start seeing pieces that show up that I've never seen before. Literally, I'm like, where was this? How do I get my hands on this? So this next piece that we have is a ruby, but it's a floral design. It's going to be this beautiful flower design that's 4.2 carats of ruby. Check it out. Ooh. And this one is, actually we have it in rose gold over sterling, yellow gold over sterling, and we also have it in 925 sterling silver. So you do have some options here. Obviously, all the sizes won't be available, I don't believe, in the others. In fact, this one in rose gold over sterling, we're out of stock in the size 7, but 6, 8, and 9 are available. This beauty is only $47.99. And I want to show you actually this one and then the solitaire on another finger. Because I'm somebody who likes to wear maybe the same gemstone but on different fingers. Obviously, if you're married, you're probably going to wear your wedding band or your wedding ring. So you might want to wear, the 2 rubies on one hand like I have. The cluster, though, the floral design is actually in rose gold over sterling. It's vermeil. Remember what we talked about with vermeil, 120 layers plus of 14K rose gold in this case. We're We're talking 4 microns, so that's a lot of layers of gold over top of the silver. Not that we don't love our silver, but it's nice to be able to have something that is also in rose gold or yellow gold. And we do use precious metal and that overlay process to ensure that you guys have some really great looking pieces. So this is going to be 4.2 carats. Let's talk about these gemstones for just a moment. Okay. These gems are all going to be 5 millimeter. Okay. Well, actually, the center one is a 3/4 carat, 5 millimeter. Try to hold steady here. And then you have 3.43 carats of 4.5 millimeter. So they are slightly smaller on the outside of the ring, or not the outside of the ring, outside of the center gem where the petals are, quote unquote, right? Because I consider that to be almost like a floral design. Isn't that pretty? Look at that. King of the gemstones, right? Rubies have been long revered and loved by royalty. When you think about a crown, I always think like a crown would have like a giant ruby. Or like when I think about a king back in those days, and even today, who knows what kings, because you still have kings around the world. But I would imagine the king having this gold goblet that has like a big ruby in it, or one of these precious gemstones. Rubies represent love. They represent passion. They represent power. Rubies are they're the official birthstone for the month of July, but really at the end of the day, I think when you ask people what type of gemstone they love or what they're aware of, rubies are probably a top 3 gemstone on people's list of, yeah, I'd love to have a ruby, but it's not affordable. Here at Shop LC, they are. This is another Nyasa ruby piece. Again, 4.2 carats. This time it is on clearance, $47.99. You got to use the budget payment options. If 47 is a little out of your budget, maybe you were only wanting to spend $15, $20. The good news is the budget pay option on this ring is $12. So anytime you see BP and then a smaller number next to the total, how much you're going to pay, that's going to be our in-house finance plan, or not finance. I don't want to call it financing because guess what? With financing, there's a credit check, there are interest payments. That's not the case. It's a payment plan that we put together in-house so that our shoppers can take advantage of, kind of taking your time with the payments and not having to put out all that money up front. No credit check, no interest, $12 plus shipping and handling, any taxes that may apply. We'll go ahead and ship it out after you send your first payment, okay? This one is not rated yet, but I have a feeling once you get it home, you'll be one of the first to rate it. It is a beauty. And it's 4 carats of rubies, so, I mean, you can't ask for anything more at that price point. Keep in mind, when you're shopping online, you will see a pair of earrings that pair up nicely with it. So that's another thing you may want to check out. On our website, we have put together the option of the same exact style of earrings. Those are going to cost you about $49.99. But once you go to the website or you click on the link below, that's going to give you access to those earrings. And always look around. Don't be afraid to look on our website for other items that would pair nicely with some of the pieces you decide to get. Okay? Check it out. ShopLC.com is our website address. When you're shopping on IG, obviously there's a link. Well, no, on TikTok there's a link. On Facebook and IG, there's the word sold and then the number that's associated to the piece. I think that's 106.
Yes.
That was 106. So if you're interested, you're going to put the word sold, 106, and that's going to take you to the item. If not, you'll have access. You'll see all those items on the bottom, so you can just kind of check out what we've already aired and the price points we're able to offer you. All right. Any messages? Nobody? You all are watching? No questions?
I'm just chilling.
No comments? Nothing. Okay. That's okay. That's okay. I'm good with that. Coming up next, we have a ruby bracelet. We're trying to bring you things that coordinate beautifully, right? We don't just want to bring you a ruby ring and not a matching bracelet or another matching ring to go with it. Obviously, on our website, you'll be able to find a lot of the matching pieces, but for the show, we've kind of paired them up. Ruby bracelet. What good would a ruby, kind of segment be without a ruby bracelet? Now, believe it or not, here's the kicker on this. The ruby bracelet here is only $119.99, but look at this. Look at this. This is a stunner. And I apologize to our TikTok followers, I know I kind of come over. We've got 2 screens that I'm working with, and I just kind of go from screen to screen to give our Facebook, Instagram. We got to come up with a better system one of these days. But this works for now, right? So this is 11.75 carats. We have, this one's in 925 sterling silver. Look at the size of those rubies. That's a lot of ruby. The back end, beautifully finished. That's a lot of 925 sterling silver. It's a lot of it, not a little. Beautifully finished. And then you have your box closure with that double safety catch. There's the catch there, the 2 latches. So this is, this is a rare opportunity. You have 18 rubies. A lot of rubies, that's a lot. 10.04 carats in the ruby. And each one of these gemstones are 5 by 4 millimeter. So it's a lot of carat weight. I mean, if we were to take apart the ruby bracelet, 18, right? You'd be able to make like 9 pair of earrings. So each pair of earrings, I would say, would probably cost you like $99 plus. And I'm being conservative because I'm a ruby baby. And trust me, I've seen the price points of genuine rubies. They are expensive. So there you see the clasp. I love the fact that they've added the texture in the surrounding area. For me, texture is key. When you can put beaded work on silver, it really elevates the look. And so when you see this in person, you're going to think, wow, are there some diamonds in there? Well, you do have zircon. You have zircon in between each of the rubies. But in the setting for the rubies, you have a little more texture there. And that kind of plays off of the zircon sparkle. So you're getting a little more sparkle in the bracelet, and you're getting ruby gemstones for practically nothing. I mean, we're talking about 10 carats of ruby up for grabs, which again coordinates beautifully with the ruby ring. Maybe you did the ruby ring, the solitaire, that's almost 2 carats. Maybe you purchased the ruby flower. And even though the flower or the solitaire are yellow gold over sterling, you see how you can mix and match. 5-star rated, 5-star rated, a lot of people talking about it. So if you have an opportunity, well, let me, one of them, let's see, customer support. Oh, okay, so great selection and customer support was great. So apparently we had a shopper who picked one up and enjoyed their experience with our customer care team, which by the way, you can always contact them. If you have any questions, our customer care support team, they are on standby. The 877 number to contact them. You ready for this? Because I'm going to give it to you. It's 877-899-0099. Again, that's 877-899-0099. And if you need me to repeat that, let me know in the chat and the little, where you can put a message in. I'll be more than happy to repeat that again. We also have what's called a personal shopper team. The personal shopper team is there for you for whatever you need. So if you're thinking today as you're watching the show, gosh, I love the rubies and all that you've been presenting, but just, you know what I'm interested in? I want an emerald. Or maybe you want, I love the moissanite, but to be honest with you, I want a pair of diamonds, diamond studs. So our personal shopper team is 877-899-0490. So again, that's 877-899-0490. And obviously, that customer care information is on our website while you're shopping online with me. You can always kind of research that and find that on our website.
Real fast, Jessica.
Yeah,
Kate
course.
on Facebook says, love watching you, calm, cool, and knowledgeable.
Hey, Kate. Kate, thank you so much. Mwah. Smooches to you. That's what I'm talking about. We want this to be interactive, and I really appreciate when people take the time out to send emails or text messages. What is I got my Macy's card. What in the world? Look, that was my room. I'm like, what is in my back pocket right now? I gotta go. Shh, don't tell nobody. But got some returns to do for my husband. But no, Kate, thank you so much for taking the time out. I really appreciate it. Speaking of that, I was at my favorite department store the other day, which is the one I just showed you the card. And that's actually one of the only places here in Austin that I've gotten recognized. At the jewelry counter, I was kind of passing by, and this lady was like, she was looking at me like she was, what's going on? And she was like, I got to ask you a question. And I was like, what's going on? And she was like, you look familiar. And I was like, really? Because I play like I'm like, because people will ask me, well, what do you do? And I'm like, oh, well, I work. Well, no, they'll ask me, where do you work? That's the question. Where do you work? I'm like, Round Rock, which is, the place where our studio is. And then they'll be like, well, what do you do? And I'm like, I host a TV show, and that kind of opens it up. They're like, what? You're on TV? Oh. And you're like, no, it's not like that. But I'm kind of timid like that when it comes to just having these conversations. But I say that to say this. The lady had mentioned, she was like, girl, I love when you're on. I'm always shopping. You make me shop. She's like, what are you doing here at the jewelry counter? And I was like, what do you think? Comparison shopping. I'm always taking a look to see what these department stores are selling jewelry for. Let me tell you something. They cannot touch what we have. Speaking of that, coming up next, look at this. London Blue Topaz. Can't touch this. Oh. Guess how much this is? You're not going to believe it. I can't believe it. Is that right, guys? Yeah. $22.40. Okay, if you do nothing else, let me call some people out. Letitia, Deborah, Zephyr, Edgar, I see you there. You all need to get this one. Of all the pieces that I have featured so far, this is definitely the biggest value. Mindy, come on. 3-stone trilogy London Blue Topaz. So you know that London Blue Topaz, well, maybe you don't. Topaz comes in a variety of color. Are you familiar with Mystic Topaz? Mystic Topaz is that topaz gem that has like, it's like the Aurora Borealis. They describe it as that. They have different colors, the Mystic, the purple, blue, pink. Well, of all the topaz gems, especially when you get into the blue color, London Blue is the most sought after. Okay? That's going to be the darkest, and to me, it's the sexiest. It just is. I mean, you got sultry is the word that comes to mind. It's deep, it's rich, it's glamorous. This one has 2.92 carats of London Blue. $22.49, that's unheard of. I mean, if it were just a single stone, maybe, but you have 3. And it's a 925 sterling silver. So your total gem weight, let me share this, let me see, what is it, 2.5 carats is what it's saying here? So 2.92, okay, so the stones are all minimum size. They're 7 by 5 millimeter. These are giant. I mean, as soon as I saw it, I thought to myself, wait a minute, these look bigger than 5 by 3s or 5 by 4s. So you have 7 by 5 millimeter stones, and they have this rich blue color. So with topaz, you have sky blue topaz, you have Swiss blue topaz, you have electric blue topaz, and London blue. London blue is going to be your most expensive in the market today, and people will pay top dollar for it. Do you have any comparisons?
I do, yes.
London, wait till you see this. I can't wait to show you this. London, don't take my word for it. Boom. Oh, how cute. And this, I wouldn't call this London. This is blue, but London tends to be a little more expensive, but we'll go with it. Check this out. And that's a pretty ring. Not bad. $98.85 for blue topaz.
Ooh, you know what? Hold on. Let me show you this one.
Okay.
This one's mine.
DJ's like, you know what? I'm gonna get the London.
Yeah, here we go.
There you go. Look at the. Okay, DJ, you just took me. What were we at? Like 100 and something?
It was like 90 something. Yeah.
Not even 98, I think.
Yeah.
That says $475. I'm just saying, ladies and gentlemen, when you start. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 London Blue Topaz. You have 3. You have 3 for $22. Now, okay. Don't get me started. Have you ever been into the store? Okay, when I go into this department store, I was just telling you about, I try to, when I'm doing a return, I'm like, do not look at the shoes. Do not look at anything. Just go, right? And then you see these beautiful boots, because right now it's like, my husband's like, you don't need another pair of boots. You just don't. Like, you have every boot you can imagine. So I'll go over and look at the price, and when you see a sale, you almost want to celebrate. You're like, what? These used to be $229 and now they're $65? I have to get them. Well, you know what I'm talking about. It kind of gives you that, So $475. I don't even know the original. I think the original price was $29. So $29.99 here at Shop LC. That's the same thing. It's the same thing. That's 925 sterling silver. Yours is. That's London blue topaz. Yours is. This one is 4 gemstones, 3 1/4. This one's 2.5. This one's 2.5. So your price is $22.49. Think about it. Your mom, your sister, your daughter, your auntie, your granddaughter, who can you give this to? Some of you are like, girl, me. Yeah, Angel is out there. Hi, Angel. Warm, fuzzy hugs. Hello, good to see you. Get it. Do not miss out. You've got some really pretty detail on the side there. Lots of texture, that split shank. I mean, it really is a beautiful piece. For $22.49, you can't beat it. A lot of people raving about it. The reviews are in. They love it. And you're going to love it, especially at that price. You're going to think, wow, what a bargain. Because that's what it's all about, right? So we're trying to bring the heat and provide you with as much as possible. What's going on down here? Anything?
Penny has a pretty interesting fact, I think.
Garnet lights the way. A garnet was supposedly on Noah's Ark. Oh, yeah. Penny's talking about certain gemstones that were written about in the Bible. Penny, thank you so much for that information. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are a lot of gemstones that, have been written about throughout history. Obviously, these gems, these rocks are provided to us from the good Lord above. And so when we're able to find them and, provide them to you in these beautiful settings, it's like, mwah, especially at these price points. We make it affordable. You can't tell me differently. I'm not listening. I literally just did a London blue topaz for less than $25. $25. So you can't say, and see, as a mom, when my daughter was a bit younger, there were certain things that I would not necessarily, get for her at a certain age because she just wasn't ready, right? I mean, in terms of being responsible, keeping track of certain things, there's an age for everything, and even with gemstones. But at these prices, moms, you're almost like, wow, you know what? I can get my daughter who's in high school a 3-stone London blue topaz ring. That thing was less than $25. Okay, now we have a pair of London blue topaz studs. Oh my goodness, DJ. Are you able to see that, guys? Hold on. I think I've got it down by now, but
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
For sure.
Okay. So these are 1.85 carats, and you have these beautiful ovals that go perfectly with your 3-stone. You don't want to do one without the other. You just don't. They go beautifully together. I mean, perfect pair. But these studs are 1.85 carats, so you have 90, just over 90. Look at these! Perfect size. What more can you ask for? I mean, studs are just that. They're classic, they're elegant, they're just the right size. You have 1.85 carats in those. You can't ask for anything more aside from a great price, and we're giving it to you. $19.99. Oh, and there's a budget pay option. You don't always get that with this price point, so it's nice to be able to make 3 payments of $6.67. They are in silver. You do have platinum over top of it. That's another thing that we do here at Shop LC that I find to be important to talk about. First of all, with silver, not everybody can wear silver because of the nickel. We do our silver settings nickel free, so just an FYI on that. Also the platinum. Platinum is platinum, right? It's hypoallergenic. It's going to be the most resistant to scratches. So just like the vermeil process that we do with yellow gold and rose gold 14K, in our silver pieces, most of the time you're going to see platinum over top of silver, which is what's going to sit on the skin, okay? So if you have sensitive skin like myself, this will work out beautifully for all of you out there that are interested in, buying silver that's nickel-free, as well as maybe wearing a little platinum, which is really good on the skin and gentle on the skin. That's important. All right, I think we're going to move. It is what it is, $19.99 for London Blue, just under 2 carats. You can't beat it. I think that concludes our London Blue suite.
Now we have sky blue.
We have sky blue. Okay, we have chandeliers coming up too. Chandelier alert, chandelier alert. Just an FYI, these are coming up. Okay, sky blue. Let's see here. So and we just showed you actually sky blue, that comparison initially that DJ brought up. Remember, it was a little lighter than the London. Well, this is sky blue topaz. Isn't that pretty? Such a pretty shade of blue. They say that over 50% of us love the color blue for its calming kind of sensation that you get when you look at it. It's so pretty. And when you think about blue gemstones, sometimes we think a bit darker, but it's nice to have something that has a little less color to it, but still has some nice sparkle. And that's kind of what I feel like when it comes to aquamarine. I feel like most aquamarines dream of looking like sky blue topaz. Nowadays, aquamarines are so light, unless of course you can get like the Santa Maria stuff. Yesterday while I was on air, I did the TV show on the other side. Oh, by the way, if you have a chance to join me on TV, I work on Mondays 4 to 6, 8 to 11. I used to work Tuesdays, but Dan, Dennis, and Sean Wilsey are hosting the Sean and Dan show. I'll take it. I'll come over here with you guys. I'm in. It gives me an earlier day. And then on Wednesdays and Thursdays, I'm 4 to 6, 8 to 11. So you can always tune in to the TV show. And you can watch that on shoplc.com. You hit the live TV tab, or you can just search for our channel through your cable provider. And we're on a lot of different cable providers if you can't find us. If you have a smart TV, go to the YouTube app and then put Shop LC, and the live show will come up through your smart TV. It's actually free. So just an FYI on that. Under $20 alert. Yeah, under $20. It blows my mind. So this is a vermeil yellow gold over sterling, 1.57 carat, 1.57 carat, people. Another big deal. Mary Beth, welcome to you. Donna, welcome to you. Thank you so much for watching. Are you kidding me? We did a London blue topaz for what, $23? Now we're bringing in the sky blue topaz for $15.99. You have to get in on this. Take advantage of it, because this one is 925 sterling silver nickel free, 14K vermeil yellow gold over sterling. All of these are really great gift ideas, especially since we're kicking off the new year. Think about all those friends and family members you want to hook up. And I'm talking like a really nice piece of jewelry. Okay, let me tell you this. The best part about giving a piece of jewelry to a loved one is knowing that you got it from us, so you got a big value, right? You got it at a deal, discount price. But more importantly, knowing that 5, 10, 15 years from now, they're still rocking it, and you literally paid $20, which you know it's worth more. But because we manufacture in-house, because we're able to source the gemstones, cut the gemstones, do everything in-house, vertically integrated, right? Where most people have to literally work with a manufacturing facility to get their pieces, done. Like if I went into business for myself, right? And I wanted to get my jewelry manufactured, I would call on Shop LC, because Shop LC is one of the largest manufacturers in the world. We just happen to be a home shopping network as well. And this just started in 2007. 2006 in the UK, we have a sister channel in the UK. A year later, we launched 2007 here in the United States, which I'm proud to say that I was a part of. 17 years later, here we are, almost in March. And then the Germany channel that we recently launched. So we're, different parts of the world. So you're buying directly from the manufacturer, and that's the reason why you can get such great deals. I mean, these are deep discounted items. And this is a clearance, so this is not normal. This ring would more than likely be on a regular basis, $29, maybe $24, maybe $19, but this is the sale price, $15.99. And even, you have to admit, even $29 is a great price for a genuine gemstone piece in silver, right? So everything is on sale. Take advantage so you can experience the quality that we have here at Shop LC, and then you can come back for more. Then you're going to be hooked. You'll be addicted to the network, and you're like, oh my gosh. The good news about the gemstone ring, if you were thinking, okay, the sky blue topaz is pretty, but what about other gemstones? Guess what? We have more. So when you're on the website and you click on the link below, it's actually going to show you the different gems that this style of ring comes in. So we have it in amethyst, we have it in garnet, we have it in citrine, all those. Now, I'm not too sure about sizes, obviously, but you'll have to click around to see what's available in your size versus, what we have in the sky blue. All right, coming up next, we have this fancy cut sky blue topaz necklace. Ooh, this
And
one here.
also real fast, Dorothy on Facebook says you are a great host, love you.
Oh, Dorothy, thank you so much. Thank you for, reaching out. It really does. It makes it worthwhile,
Oh, and it looks like Denise on Facebook also got the
What'd she get?
the ring we just did.
Yes.
Oh, and she's getting this necklace right now.
Is she?
Yeah.
Denise, hold on. Let me show this necklace to you. Oh my gosh, Denise. I was just going to say, you're getting this necklace. I'm so jealous. In a good way. In a good way, not a bad way. You know when you can have those jealous haters? Not the case here. Not at all. Shout out to Denise, who just picked up $97.99. Look at that.
And also Christian on Facebook as well says, much love, Jessica. Hope you're doing well.
Hey, Christian. All is good as long as I get to spend some quality time with you guys. I really appreciate it. Hey, don't forget to join me on Instagram. I'm trying to get better at IG. And I've been on Facebook for so long that, I started trying to post on IG. But what happens is, I guess, when I post on IG, because it's connected to Facebook, it goes to my Facebook. So nobody's really going to my Instagram. I need your help. So Jessica.Maldonado. It's Maldonado, Maldonado, and then L. That's going to be my profile. If you can tune in, and kind of hang out with me on that side. I try to, post things about what's going on behind the scenes and, my dailies, like this right here. This little guy, this is my pity, Rocky. And you'll get to meet him on Instagram. And he just had a birthday in November. And so I posted a cute little picture of him with a little hat on. But he's my little senior citizen that keeps me up. It's crazy how dogs are like people, isn't it? I mean, they literally have you up. It's like, they're like, because when you get a little bit more seasoned, everything's in the reverse. So when he was a puppy, it's like it's all over again. This guy needs to go to the bathroom all the time. He wakes me up at 6 a.m. I'm like, what are you doing? It's too early. But anyways, if you have a chance, I'd love for you to follow me on IG. And of course, I'll follow you back. So, okay. Here is the $97.99. Look at this necklace. It's the type of necklace, first of all, there's an extender. It's the type of necklace that you can't help but to stare at yourself in it. Look at it. Let me get out of the way. Look at this necklace. So you have this really unique kind of cluster style shape. It's not just a traditional. Let me tell you something. There are two things that we do outrageously better than anybody else in the market today, and that's going to be necklaces and bracelets, hands down. Because what you're getting for the money is so next level. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Times two.
Woo! It's the allergies here in Texas. Good night. But what we do is we provide you with more carat weight here. You have 19 full carats of topaz. And then you have these different cuts, right? So with the extender, you're able to go down a bit further on the neckline. If you wanted to go 20 inches, you can kind of rearrange it on the neckline to sit perfectly. But 7.39 carats in 15 sky blue topaz gems, and those are going to be 6x4 millimeter. Then you have 10 additional gems that are 5x4. So you have these different size gemstones throughout, but what they did was they created a little bit of a wider kind of setting on every other link. I mean, this is beautifully done. It sits facing forward. It has that extender. This is an upgraded chain that's going to be the curb link. And then that lobster claw has the extender. The extender is going to take you out 2 extra inches. So you can come down, you can bring it up, you can do what you want. But a lot of carat weight here, 19 full carats. The silver is phenomenal on this necklace. You see what I'm saying though? $97 for a necklace like this. I mean, this is a showpiece. This is something that you would expect to, and don't wait for a special occasion to wear it. But a lot of times you would expect to only wear it during special occasions because you probably spend $1,000 plus on that. But it's $97. So even if I had like a collared shirt on, a button up, you better believe I'd wear my sky blue topaz. If I had a neckline that was showing, this is the type of necklace that I'd wear like with a V-neck or a scoop neck, as long as I had plenty of room for those gemstones to show. You could even wear it over top of a black blouse. I mean, I could see it over the green. Obviously, you could see that. But I wouldn't necessarily wear it with what I have on today. But once you get it home, you'll be able to pair it up with the perfect outfit. Summertime, springtime, you've got those dresses on that are spaghetti strap or even, a little thin strap, maybe a tank top. Who says you can't wear your sky blue topaz with your tank tops? Do it. Okay, Patricia, we've got some 5-star reviews. Let me start with Amy. Amy says, beautiful necklace, exclamation. She says, perfect gift for an August birthday or anyone that loves the gemstone. And then you have Patricia who says, gave this to my daughter. She's an August baby, so this probably comes in peridot as well, not just the topaz. That's the beauty of being a manufacturer. These necklaces, sometimes we'll manufacture them with different colored gems. A few other testimonials on our website that you'll have to check out. But, I mean, through and through, one of the things that I love about these necklaces is that once you put it around your neckline, the gemstones will sit forward. So you don't have to worry about flip-flopping. The extenders are something that I advocated for early on when we first started doing necklaces like this. The artisan team meets with a lot of us just to kind of get feedback. And one of the things that I've always said with necklaces is versatility. I like to have options. And so it's nice to be able to wrap a necklace around your neckline and know that you have some wiggle room to go up or down with an extender. So you see a lot of that in our necklace designs, either with an extender that's 2 inches or sometimes with a magnetic clasp that has a bolo bead that you can slide the necklace up or down on the neckline using that feature. So $97, you do have some other options, as I mentioned. When you go to the website, check that out, see what's available. And $19.60 is all you're paying per month on that. Deal! All right, what's next, people? I'm going to leave that up, too, just so you can see it. And I brought it up actually nice and high, so I'm going to bring it down a little bit. But that chain is, the chain is so beautifully done. It's an upgraded chain. It's a curb style, which you need something thicker when you're wearing a necklace like that, right? You don't want something flimsy, but something that's going to support it. Okay, Sleeping Beauty turquoise coming up. Oh, this is a nice one. Now, we do have a pendant that'll coordinate beautifully. But first things first, we're going to do a Sleeping Beauty turquoise amethyst ring. And this is a really nice one. This one actually has a little give. And the reason why I say that is because the open band allows you to come out a little bit because it's silver, right? With silver's malleable. You can play around with silver, just like when you wear a cuff bracelet. If we design a cuff bracelet, a lot of times you'll be able to squeeze that cuff to fit you properly. With the ring, ladies and gentlemen, is Sleeping Beauty, but it also has a bezel set amethyst. By the way, we're on the move. We only have about 40 minutes left in this show, so keep that in mind. Sometimes I start moving a bit faster just to kind of get through some of these items I see we're going to get to. And if we don't have time, I won't be able to kind of talk to you about it live during the show. You'll still see them on our website, but I want to make sure I kind of go through as much information as possible. So this one is a 1 carat Sleeping Beauty. And then you have your amethyst that's bezel set. That is a 6x4 millimeter. Ooh, that amethyst is almost a 1/2 carat. But notice the detail here. I love this picture because the picture really kind of zooms in. So with this, you have what's called a bezel setting. Bezel setting is a lower profile. And with a bezel set gemstone, it simply means that whatever they set it in, it wraps around the entire gem. And the only thing that's exposed is your table, which is the surface of the gem. Does that make sense? So bezel set, they put it all the way in the setting. You see the gemstone, obviously that purple, but you don't see the rest. It's not like a prong that's coming out and holding it. It's all the way in. That's called the bezel setting. It's nice and low profile, nice smooth. And then they polish the silver so you can see that, that purple color. Then there's the inlay. That inlay is beautifully done. You don't usually see Sleeping Beauty turquoise with that kind of inlay style setting. So you have that around the amethyst. And then you have your Sleeping Beauty with the these are moissanite. So you've got moissanite in the mix too. And you're seeing us do a lot more of the moissanite. Don't tell me, well, I couldn't tell you how we were able to get the deal that we've been getting on moissanites, because moissanites here at Shop LC have been so affordable based on what you see out there in the market today. It's crazy how inexpensive moissanite is here. But, being a manufacturer and having the chance to buy in bulk the way that we do gives us an advantage in the market today. And it's really nice to be able to use moissanite in the place of sometimes CZs, right? Because when you want a gemstone that sparkles and delivers, you may not necessarily want to do a cubic zirconia. You might want to go with either a zircon, which is white zircon, white topaz, or moissanite. And that's what you have here. The moissanite is located, look how unique this is. You have another bezel setting on the outside there, and then you have a halo of moissanite. So it's a nice combination. Now, I say that to say this. This is what's really cool about the ring. So a lot of times, for me personally, I have this really large bone on my thumb, and it's difficult for me to get a ring over the thumb, but once I do, the rings tend to be too large. I don't know if anybody goes through that. But with the adjustable kind of feature here, it's slightly adjustable. It's not designed where we're going to call it adjustable, but because silver is malleable and I know how we design these, it's going to come to you with a little bit of open space. And so once you put it on your finger, you're going to be able to close it up. So I can close it all the way and not have to worry about a thing. So that's going to make it easy for you to get over certain humps on fingers that you have. Maybe you have a little inflammation or some swelling and you have a hard time wearing certain rings because once you get it on, it fits. But in order to get it over the hump or the inflammation, it's a bit of a challenge. This is going to be helpful with that. Okay, so just an FYI, just kind of making you aware of that. So they're 1.5 millimeter zircons. You've got the moissanite that's bezel set. Let's see. Oh, actually, the moissanite is in the halo. The zircon is the one that's bezel set. Yeah. So you actually have a combination of both, the moissanite and the zircon in this ring, and you'll see it once you get it home. But this one's only costing you $55.99. Sleeping Beauty turquoise is the most sought after in the world today. Actually, I'm going to Arizona this month to the Tucson Gem Show. It's been a while since I had the chance to go. Right before COVID, in 2019, I was there in February. They have this show every year. It's the largest, probably the largest gemstone show in the world, or in the United States. Let me put it that way. Not the world, the U.S. And people from all over the world do come to, they go to Arizona to attend this gem show. And we do a lot of shopping there, which we'll be doing in just a few weeks. So I'll be doing some live remote shows from there. I hope you can join me for that. That's going to be, I want to say February the 29th and the 30th, or the 30th and the 31st. But it's at the end of January. So just a few weeks away, we'll be buying some turquoise. But I say that to say this, the Sleeping Beauty Mountain is actually found in Arizona. It's Globe, Arizona. And this is a mountain that turquoise was discovered in. There are a few actually mines in Arizona where turquoise is found, but in this case, the Sleeping Beauty mine is, the reason why they call it that is because as you look at the mountainous area from the aerial view from up top, it actually looks like Sleeping Beauty as she away for her Prince Charming to wake her up. Now, was she the one that bit on the apple? I don't remember. Either way, she needed a prince to come along and wake her up. And so that mountain, oftentimes they refer to it as that because of, the fact that it looks like a Sleeping Beauty as she awake. Is it? I think that was Snow White. Snow White, I think, bit on the apple.
Yeah.
What is Beauty pricked her finger?
She pricked her finger. It's always like we need a Prince Charming to come wake us up. Sometimes he needs us, right? I mean, ladies, I'm a big believer. I know it's all about woman power. Some of you get mad at me, but my husband adds value to my life. And, as women, I know that a lot of us, we want to be independent and we can do it on our own. But at the end of the day, I really do believe that, it's nice to be able to have each other. You add to each other's lives. And if you're single, you're single. But, as a woman, I do believe in, that kind of relationship and whatever, whatever works for you. But it's nice to have that pair, that team where we come together and we complement each other. Where he doesn't, I do, and where I don't, he does, and so on and so forth, or, whatever your relationship is. But yeah, sometimes it's nice to well, it's another show. It's another show. Look, don't get me started. Anyways, so the Sleeping Beauty ring is $55.99. We are going to move on. Oh, let's do the bracelet. This is big. This is big. I can't even believe we have this in stock. Seriously. So this is, first of all, look at this toggle clasp. That's a toggle clasp design. So okay, remember we talked about extenders just a few minutes ago? I was saying that we suggest to the artisans that manufacture some of these pieces that they at least give us a little wiggle room so we can adjust. Same thing with bracelets. I can't tell you how many times. Now we do have a lot of bracelets that we manufacture where we do them in 6.5, 7 1/4, and 8 inch. So a lot of times you have the option. But here's the thing. What if you don't know? What if you're out there watching right now and you're thinking, Jess, you know what? You're right. I don't know if I'm a 6.5, 7 1/4, or an 8 inch. Many of us don't take a measuring, the what is that? The measuring, not the ruler, but the one that comes in the sewing kit.
Oh, yeah.
The tape, right? It's the tape. I felt weird calling it tape, but when you measure your waistline, your bust, and you've got that out, a lot of times we don't wrap it around our waist, or excuse me, around our wrist rather. We do it around our waist because we need to know. But even that, some of us don't know exactly where we're at. Some of us don't want to know. That's another show. But this is an opportunity for you to buy a bracelet for anybody and everybody. Why? Because you have the jump rings. These are all Sleeping Beauty turquoise beads. You almost never see beads. In fact, when I do Sleeping Beauty turquoise necklace beads, they're thousands of dollars. So this is a really big deal that you have the chance to actually get your hands on a Sleeping Beauty turquoise bead bracelet for how much? $67.99. That's unheard of in the world of Sleeping Beauty. Now check this out. I have a really hard time. Well, back in the day I did. Not now because, since I'm here and I'm always measuring and I kind of know exactly where I'm at. Well, with this bracelet, I was able to go to the shortest length and it fits me perfectly, which I'm a huge fan of, the bracelet designs that we have here, because depending on the time of year, like right now, we all know the New Year's here. Many of us are like working out. We've got our gym memberships, right? It's a new you this year. I don't know about you, but I probably gained like 3 to 5 pounds. I ate a lot of mint and chocolate and macaroni and all kinds of things that I shouldn't, but I'm resetting. And it's interesting. I always set my my woman appointment like for January, February. And you got to watch that because your cholesterol kind of spikes during the holiday season, ladies, right? So you got to kind of cleanse before you go. But anyway, that's another show. This is Sleeping Beauty. And you have these beautiful beads that are in between the Sleeping Beauty that are done by hand. This is all 925 sterling silver. So the really cool thing about some of our handmade jewelry, and you'll know it when you see the word Bali. Bali doesn't mean inspired by Bali artisans. Bali means actual Bali, okay? We have a team of artisans that we partnered with probably, I want to say 10 years ago, where we started this relationship with the Bali artisans so that they had an opportunity to kind of provide us with the artwork that they make on a regular basis, but to get it to the everyday people. I mean, think about it. Bali is in Indonesia, right? Indonesia, you've got, I think, thousands of islands, if I'm not mistaken. Bali happens to be one of them. Well, I don't know if you guys are going to Bali or plan to, but that's almost a whole day of traveling, right? It's a lot of money that you're going to have to put out. And not everybody can afford that, type of traveling. And so many of us never have the opportunity to own anything that would come from that place in the world, which is spectacular. I mean, Bali is one of the only places in the world where artisans still, kind of artwork is super unique. Artwork is something that is kind of like an individual thing that you fall in love with. Well, the Bali artisans have these traditions and techniques that they've been using for thousands of years. And they haven't, done away with that. They still continue those traditions and techniques, which really, in my opinion, make me appreciate their artwork, and you get to see these on the Bali Legacy Collection. This is not inspired by Bali artisans. This is actually manufactured. I'm going to come in just a little bit more so you can see these Bali beads. All that done by hand. Now, Bali artisans don't always have the opportunity to use genuine gemstones. A lot of times when you think about artisans that do things with gold and silver, they don't necessarily, I'm going to grab the ruler, they don't have access to gemstones the way that we do. And that's where the partnership with the Bali artisans, come together as one with Shop LC. So not only do they get to create these beautiful works of art that we get to wear, because artwork, sometimes you don't get to take it with you, right? A lot of times artwork, you just get to hang around your house or put it up, and you get to admire it and look at it when you're at home. And then sometimes you'll have guests that come over and they're like, oh my gosh. Well, this is an opportunity for you to actually wear that artwork. And I'm telling you, they put their heart and soul into these pieces, and you can tell how much work goes into it. There are no major machines that are involved. All the filigree work, all the detail done by hand. We've shown on several occasions how this works. Several of us hosts, I have yet to go to Bali, but Katie, which is one of our hosts, she's gone to Bali. Karen is another one of our hosts. She's gone to Bali. Marva, one of our other hosts, she went to Bali in 2023, just a few months ago. So we try to travel there as often as possible and provide you with some behind the scenes on how it's all done. But these artisans are amazing. I mean, they literally have their expertise. Like, they don't do everything. Every single artisan has their own station and they specialize in different things, which is quite special. I mean, it's unique. So shortest length is right at 7 inches. Right in the middle, you're at 7.5 inches. And then the longest length is 8. So you've got plenty of wiggle room here. You can get this for anybody. I mean, anybody's going to be able to wear it, including a guy. There's nothing feminine about this. This is just a bead. Right now, beads are very much on trend around the neckline and on the wrist. Guys are rocking beads. If he loves a little turquoise, this is a December birthstone. Might be just that, he's just into turquoise or, loves the color blue. You can get it for anyone. This works up to 8 inches, okay? So I know I stayed on that for a little bit, but I wanted to give you some history. $67.49. You've got the Sleeping Beauty turquoise from Globe, Arizona, Sleeping Beauty Mountain, some of the most expensive in the world. Partnered with the artisans on the island of Bali, double whammy for no money. I mean, obviously it's 67, but when you compare it to, just all the workmanship and everything that, people talk about when it comes to Sleeping Beauty, little to no matrix, beautiful color, and just an exceptional piece of jewelry at such an affordable price. All right. I'm going to keep moving. I am trying to shorten my time. Well, I want to make sure we get through as much as possible. Guys, I'd love to do the moonstone, these dangle earrings. I don't know what place they have in the show, but
make sure we get to those for sure.
Yes. Okay. Sleeping Beauty turquoise. Oh boy. So to go with the bracelet, you need something. This is a 5-star rated pendant. Here, I'll hold it up. Look at that. I mean, even from don't get me started. I'm going all the way back. Even from across the way, you could see how stunning that is, right? So the Sleeping Beauty turquoise in this case is a giant. Nowadays, what's happening, and I'm going to have the team bring up a comparison on Sleeping Beauty. What's happening with Sleeping Beauty is that the price is skyrocketed. This is actually one of the only gemstones that I have seen. Well, this and Paraíba too. What's another one? Spinel. So during my time in this business, I've seen gemstones, not very many because gemstones have been around for a long time, long before me. But the one gemstone that I've seen go up in price significantly is Sleeping Beauty. And initially when it was first discovered, per pound, Sleeping Beauty was being sold for like $100 a pound, which translated into price per carat, I don't know, honestly. I just don't. I know that back in the day, it was much more affordable. Today, it's super expensive, right? That's the bottom line. We've seen it go from $100 a pound to like over $10,000 a pound. And it's not even being sold per pound these days because there's no more mining involved in this gemstone.
I'll show you this comparison.
Yes, please. Okay, so, oh, look how cute. This is cute. This is a little Sleeping Beauty in silver. So you have good, better, best heirloom quality. We've selected the best. We actually have some heirloom here. But we'll select the best, $1,359. Now, granted, it isn't 14K, but even if it were in silver and it was 700, 600, right, 899, you get my point, right? You look around for the silver Sleeping Beauty, forget about it. So this is 7.65 carats, and the thing that I love about this is that they paired it with a gemstone from the island of Madagascar called apatite. Apatite. Okay, so apatite is one of these gems that when we put Sleeping Beauty with apatite, I was blown away because it's almost like these gemstones are related in terms of color, but they come from two different parts of the world, right? Apatite is found on the island of Madagascar off the coast of Africa. Then you have Sleeping Beauty, which is found here in the U.S. But the colors of both of these gemstones, you see the blue? So apatite is a faceted gem with clarity. So you've got some clarity in there. So it's a different type of gem. With Sleeping Beauty is an opaque stone, so there's no transparency. You can't see through it. It's just that color. But when you put these two together, you're like, oh my gosh, they look similar. They're the perfect pair is my point. $149, you get the chain, 20 inches. The size of the gems we're going to talk about here in just a second. The center gem is going to be a 2.91 carat. That's an 11 by 9 millimeter, giant. And then you have the smaller gemstones. Now you have different cuts here, right? You have what's called the pear cut. Oh my gosh, you have a lot of these. Actually, you have 6 by 4 millimeter pear cuts, and then you have 5 by 3 millimeter pear cuts. So on the four corners, you have the larger pairs, and then, filling in, you have the smaller pairs, which are really not small at all. But this is well made. You've got that 925 sterling silver back. You have the perfect finish. You also have the Malagashnian apatite. So here you have, so you have about 24 pieces of Malagashnian apatite. I mean, 2 millimeter round cuts are what we're seeing a lot of. Also 1.5 millimeters. So anywhere between 1.5 to 2 millimeters what you have. And just like the pear cuts on the four corners that are a little bit larger, the apatites on the four corners are a little bit larger. And you'll see that once you get it home, or if you kind of look online with us, you'll be able to see that detail. But would you rather spend over $1,000 for Sleeping Beauty? And I don't even know if it's Sleeping Beauty, actually, now that doesn't say. But this is that, Sleeping Beauty turquoise people are paying top dollar for, and it speaks for itself. I mean, when you think about your turquoise collection, if you love turquoise as much as I do, ooh, there's a bust here. Look, I'm like, oh, there's that, look. This is the bust that I was just, madam, look at her. So I'm going to put this around her neckline. But the Sleeping Beauty what I was saying was that, I got distracted by Megan. The turquoise that I'm used to prior to Sleeping Beauty being discovered, or just knowing about it, is the turquoise that has matrix, right? Turquoise naturally has matrix, like this kind of irony, like black veining is what they call it. And so with Sleeping Beauty, the thing that people fell in love with when it was discovered, it does have matrix here and there. You have little spotting, but for the most part, Sleeping Beauty turquoise has little to no matrix, and that's where the value is. That's where people want to pay top dollar for this gemstone. $149.99 for that, it speaks for itself, right? I mean, that's a beautiful work of art that you now get to wear on a regular basis, and it's American made. This is homegrown, ladies and gentlemen, which is nice. It's nice to be able to wear gemstones that are found here in the U.S. I mean, that's a beautiful thing. Oftentimes when I'm talking about gems, I'm talking about Brazil, I'm talking about Africa, I'm talking about, where else? Other places in South America. You know, so I mean, you just have all these different parts of the world. The Caribbean, where gemstones are found. Excuse me, let me put Angeli away. We named our mannequin Angeli back in the day. I'm not too sure if that's her or somebody else, but either way, put her to the side. $149.99 for the pendant, and of course you can go back and snag that ring. Oh my gosh, we only have 20 minutes, not even. So we're gonna pick up the pace. Can we do the opal?
Yeah, we'll do the chandelier first.
Okay. So I'm a huge fan of chandelier earrings. I actually took all my jewelry off aside from my my little pit bull pendant, but the bigger the earring, the better. Bow. I almost wore my giant hoops today, and then I was like, I'm gonna run some errands a little bit later, so maybe not. Not that the giant hoops would get in the way. It's just it's cold here, so when you have all these layers and then you got the big hoops on, anyways. These are perfect though. Even in the cold weather, let me tell you something. Look at that color play. Play of color, Ethiopian Wello opal. This is the opal that's found in Ethiopia, right? The Wello region. That's why they call it Wello opal. And these are basically, the best way to describe it is fire and ice. Okay, fire and ice. And the reason why they call it that is because you have the icy color, right? That white color that's so pretty. And then, good night, I'm trying to find my piercing. There it is. You have the color play, which is the fire that they describe. Look at this! Aren't they pretty? I'm a huge fan of chandelier style earrings. I'm always, on air, you'll see me do that. They'll go up, and my director's like, all right, I'm coming to your ear. And I'm like, bobblehead. Because I want you to see how pretty these are. Look at the impact that they make when you walk into a room. Let's just say you're interviewing me, and we're chatting on Zoom. Everybody does everything on Zoom. Or let's just say you're having a video call, you know, with friends and family members, and you're rocking these. Look how pretty these are. I absolutely love them. These are only costing you $111. Chandelier style earrings will cost you more money because of, you know, the features. I mean, you don't just have the gemstone up top, right? The setting. I mean, we could easily just cover this and do these up top. So what you have is super unique because you have the Wello opal on the top, and that red gemstone, is that wine garnet? Orissa rhodolite garnet. So this is from the state of Orissa. You see that wine color? That's the color of last year that I've been talking about. I love this color. So the rhodolite garnets, you have two of them that are 5x3. And then you have two of them that are 4x3. So it looks like your 5x3 are up top and your 4x3 are going to be right there on the bottom. See that? These are so good. So with chandelier style earrings, you get a little more dangle. You have a little more of an ornate feel to the earring. They face forward with hoops. I have a pair of hoops. When I put them on, they go this way, right? So you see the hoop more from the side. You see a little bit of the hoop that hangs, but you don't see it, you know, it's not facing forward. Some gemstone earrings are you know, very unique in that if you wear some style of hoops, they'll have like a dangle and then the hoop goes out this way, but most of the time the hoop is going to sit like this on the side. With the chandeliers, they sit facing forward. So you have this really nice framing of the face. You know, you have the movement, the sassiness, the elegance. I love the drama. It's not overdone. We're not talking about shoulder dusters that are all the way down here. We're just talking about a little bit of length that kind of provides you with some playfulness, but at the same time, super elegant. Look at the detail here. I'm going to bring it in for Facebook, and then I'll slide it over here to TikTok next, okay? Look at that detail. Look at that. Tell me that's not beautiful. So these are the queen of the gemstones. And depending on where you find them in the world, they're going to glow. I mean, that is super intense. Hi, Pat. Thank you so much for joining. I'm going to be wrapping up the show here in just a few minutes. Oh, the dangle. Let's get you some, let's get the measurement. So from top to bottom, you're sitting at about an inch and a half from top to bottom. Just the right length. So yeah, so then you have the Wellow Opals, which are, oh, you have some moissanite in here. That's what's sitting right in the middle. And then there we go, 10 by 8 millimeter. I knew it. These are the Queen of the Gemstones from Ethiopia. They're known for their color play. You get the best of all worlds here because if you've ever looked at a piece of ice, we all have, right? You put ice in your cup, you see how murky and foggy it is. The color of ice is what I usually describe the white opal from Ethiopia as, but you have that color play. It kind of reminds me of a documentary I saw, or just anytime you're watching things about the ocean, like bioluminescence, how some of these animals or some of the fish in the water end up glowing, and you're like, what? It's unbelievable. This is what I think of when I see Ethiopian Wellow Opal. It's a hydrophane opal, and it's all natural. All natural. When they find this rock material, you can literally see that glow piercing through. The more color play, the more valuable, the more reds you see and pinks you see. They say that that's almost impossible. You could see those little reds and pinks coming out of there. Blue, purple, orange, yellow, green, you name it, it's there. So you need a pair of these if possible. These are gorgeous. $119, 5.75 carats. And you do have, let me see, is there a budget pay option? $28 budget pay on those. Get them. You will love them. And if your birthday's in October, you need a pair of Ethiopian Wellow Opals. You do. Oh, and the ring. This ring is something else. This ring goes beautifully with the Wellow Opal chandelier style earrings. The ring is $87.99. It's the perfect match to the earrings. You don't want to do one without the other. Look at that. That's fancy. This is not like, these are fancy. So you have the option here to get your hands. And I love the way they set the gemstones here. Vermeil, yellow, gold over sterling. We have sizes 6, 7, and 9. Look how pretty. Isn't that nice? Why do my eyes look red on this camera? All right, so the 13 millimeter. Okay, so the size of your opal in the center, ooh, that's a 13 millimeter. Thing is huge. And then you have your rhodolite garnets. So you have about a ½ carat of rhodolite garnet. Let's see here. The rhodolite garnets are 4 by 2 millimeter. You also have a few others that are different size here. Let's see, minimum size 2.5 millimeter. So you have different cuts here to really accentuate the top and the bottom of the ring. So the rhodolites are all different sizes, but these are garnets. And they're not regular red garnets, they're more of a wine garnet, a pomegranate color garnet. And wine garnets can be found in Tanzania, or the Orissa rhodolite garnet is found in the state of Orissa in India. You also have moissanites here. We're seeing a lot more moissanite here at Shop LC. So you've got the moissanite on the outside, but that's a vermeil rose gold over sterling. Perfect pair to the chandelier style earrings we just showed you. Look, boom. You're good to go. You're done. You don't need anything else from the show today. But this is only costing you $87.99. $87.99 for the ring. So glad we had a chance to do that. We literally only have like 12 minutes left. So where do we want to go?
Next we'll do that
ring is
necklace.
$22 per month. $22 per month. The bead?
Not the bead.
The cross?
Yes.
Okay. Ooh, well, wait a minute. We need to bring our mannequin back in for this one. She needs to be back in here. I'm going to use her because I want you to, it's all about perspective, right? I mean, granted, I can hold it up to my neckline, which I will, but it's nice to have a body here that I can use. This has an extender too. So the extender, you can go short, you can go long. You can do what you want. Okay, do what you want, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, it is your world. You get to wear your jewelry and gemstones however you want to wear it. Look at this. How much? $143.99. You know I'm not exaggerating right now. Hold on. Make sure. There you go. That should be like $1,000 plus. I mean, wait a minute. How many crosses have you seen that look like this? Not just the cross, but the actual V-shaped neckline, which is stunning. You also have the extender on the back end, so this is actually the highest place that I have it up on, but I can bring it down further. Oh, yes, this works beautifully. So when you bring it down further, see that? Now you're gonna adjust it. Boop. Wow. So it really gives you options as to how you want to wear it around your neckline, and that's important. So let's talk about carat weight here. You have 8.75 carats in 925 sterling silver. You have the 15 Ethiopian opals that are, let me see, average size 7x5. So you have a combination here of 6x4 and 7x5 millimeters. Let me measure the cross here while I have it on the mannequin. The cross itself, and I'll go down this way so we can get that, inch and a half from top to bottom. This is stunning. If you collect crosses, if you wear crosses, are you kidding me? With this much carat weight, at least, look, okay, I went high, I said $1,000. You know it would probably cost that. I mean, but if you found it on sale, I'll give you that. I'll be a bit more conservative. $5.99? Okay, $4.99. I mean, this is over 8.5 carats of Wello opal. And of course the extender. So in addition to that though, I love the detail work. Is this Bali? I felt like it was Bali right away, because what you have here is basically they've added texture on the outside of the setting to really allow that silver to stand out beautifully. Selvin, Viola, Dolores, Pat, hi guys, hi ladies, gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out. This is the tail end of the show, but hopefully you've been enjoying what you've seen so far. Don't forget, if you missed the first half, we started it at 2 Central, which is 3 p.m. Eastern. We do our live streams from, I think 10 to noon and 2 to 4?
Yes.
So 10 to noon and 2 to 4, us hosts, we host, the 2-hour shows. I'm Jessica Maldonado. Don't forget to check out the my IG page. I'm asking all of you, help me. I'm trying to expand, and I want to, put more stuff on that part of social media and kind of keep engaged and in tune with all of you. So I'll give you schedules and things like that, and just kind of share some information. I'm actually thinking about doing like little segments, like maybe 60-second segments on gemstones. I'm just going to talk to you about the gems, because 60 seconds is really all you need to kind of get some fun facts in. So depending on if I can get, more people to start kind of tuning in with me on IG, I'm going to start kind of coming up with some creative ways to really inform you on gemstones, a little more detail than maybe you have on a regular basis. Anyways, so this is all silver, and let me flip it too so you have a chance to see the back end. Look at this. Beautifully done. I would say crosses are probably one of the most recognized signs of faith in the world. I'm a big fan of crosses. Crosses remind me of my faith, Jesus Christ on the cross dying for me. I don't take that for granted at all. So, it's a reminder to me of his sacrifice. And then also with crosses comes angels. I love to collect angels. So maybe you do, maybe you don't. Either way, this is a nice way to upgrade your cross collection. This is not ordinary. I mean, this cross is not too big. I love the way they designed it with, the V-shaped style setting. So it really does showcase the cross beautifully. And it's nice to have different renditions of cross designs. Instead of always having the same old, you have the chance to actually own something that's super unique and different. And it's affordable. Affordable meaning if you use budget pay. I get it, $140 is not like just any old thing. But $28.80, I would definitely take advantage if you love Ethiopian Wello Opal. Viola, thank you so much for the love. Appreciate you watching. Happy Tuesday, people. So glad to be with you. It seems as though Tuesdays have been pretty consistent for me from 2 to 4 p.m. So it might be a regular thing. Either way, as I mentioned on IG, I'll keep you posted on that. I'll do a lot better. I know we've talked about me posting something on IG the night before or the day of to kind of share with everybody that I'll be doing these live shows. So I will get better at that. In fact, tonight I'll probably post a little something about my schedule for the rest of the week. From this point on, I won't be doing the live. I'll be doing the live TV show. And so hopefully you have a chance to tune in on the TV show side. And if you have a chance, reach out to me. Let me know that you've watched on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and now you're kind of tuning in on TV. We have different designs up for grabs and a different format, which is pretty fun. Usually I have a co-host that talks all over me and cuts me off. No, I'm just kidding. You know what I mean, though. If you watch the live show, it can be a little, juggle. But no, this is really a good time. I'm glad that we have the chance to actually kind of hang out together. I want to wrap up this live with a really great price point. And great meaning under 20. Under $20, I'm going to do a Brazilian citrine ring that's $15.99. How about that? Is that affordable? $15.99.
Oh, I forgot to tell you.
Tell me.
Shirley King on Facebook says,
Hey, Shirley.
love this young lady. She's one of the best hosts.
Oh, hey, Shirley. Good to see you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I really do. Those kind words, it makes everything worth it, Glad that you stopped in. You're tuning in. Hopefully you're doing a little shopping. Obviously, I'm not here to twist your arm. I'm just here to deliver joy. I'm bringing the deals, ladies and gentlemen, because I know the guys are tuning in. Maybe it's a daughter that you have. You want to get her something special. Maybe it's for your sister that you're really tight with, you're close to. Could be for mama. Could be for your significant other. This is a nice way to go. Because here's the thing. Even though I'm going down in price, we're not compromising on quality, right? This is a genuine citrine. Citrine is the birthstone for the month of November. It's the golden quartz, and they've nicknamed this beauty, because of its gold color, the happy stone. Because I'm happy. I wish we could put music on as soon as I'm like it's part of my life. When I wake up, my husband's like, babe, you always singing. I might say something and then it reminds me of a song. The other night I had this oldie song on that I was raised with my parents were pretty young when they had me. And so all of their songs back in the 70s are like my songs. And in the 60s, you would think that I was around during that time, but I wasn't. I just know the songs. So I sent it to my dad and he's like, that's crazy, Jess, how you remember those songs like it was, like you were there with us. I mean, I was, but anyways, music is everything, right? Citrine, Happy Stone. Come on, $15.99. You know you want it. You know it. It's in silver. It's a cushion cut. It's a 1.6 carat, perfect size. I mean, you can't ask for anything more at this price. Genuine gemstone, 925 sterling silver, under $20. And we actually had this style of ring. We did something similar to this. Let me make sure I've got this right. Yeah. The blue topaz we did earlier, it's the same ring. So the only difference is the gemstone that you want in the setting. The setting is beautiful. The setting, the best way for me to describe it, it's not like a regular band. The shoulder, it has this crisscross. And you can see it better here. You see the texture on the side? So it opens up beautifully. But you have, let me see, I have amethyst, I have peridot. We have it in, I think, garnet. So all these different gemstones you can choose. And then, obviously you choose the size. Hopefully it's in the size that you want, whichever your favorite gem is. But $15.99. We kicked off the show with this in the citrine, in the topaz rather. And now I have it in the citrine form. So there are other options that you can choose from once you go to the website. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, all of them are $15.99. The gem, let me quickly give you the carat weight breakdown, because I know you're interested in knowing that cushion cut, what the size is. You do have the two gems on the side. So the center stone is an 8x6. It's a 1.38 carat. And then the two on the outside are going to be 3 millimeter. 3 millimeters. So the difference between, right, you have the different cuts. This is for our, TikTok, chicka-chaka. And then here for Facebook and IG. Hopefully you can see that. But yeah, you have the 8x6 cushion, and then you have the 2 round cuts on the outside, which are perfect. I mean, it's so classic. Nobody will believe that you spent $16 on the ring. I mean, if you're a bargain shopper like I am, then you probably go to the jewelry store, or the jewelry section rather, in BJ Sachs. You know, the different letters. They have a great jewelry section, but let me tell you something. A citrine in silver, or a topaz in silver, or a garnet in silver is probably going to cost you $69, $89. In some cases, if it comes from Italy, it's going to be $129. So, you know, $15.99 giveaway. I think that's a wrap.
Well, we have 3 minutes if you want.
3 minutes?
To show the rainbow moonstone real quick.
Yes. We will use those 3 minutes, people. We're going to show you the rainbow moonstone. Where is it? I see it. Now, I'm so glad we had time for this. This actually, rainbow moonstone looks a lot like Wellow Opal, right? Rainbow moonstone is known for its shiller. This is one of those gemstones like labradorite that are known for its glow. And what's unique about this glow is that it comes from the inclusions inside of the gemstone. So you've got all these inclusions that are found inside. When they cut it, the inclusions break up the light inside the stone, which gives it this unique light play. It's crazy. But this is actually one of my personal favorites. Moonstone and labradorite, I absolutely love and adore. Hold on, let's move this because it's on the model. Look how pretty that is. There are not very many natural white gemstones in the world. And so to have the opportunity to actually wear something like moonstone, believe it or not, in this picture, it's not glowing as much as it will when you're out and about. But this will turn, the light from within the light play will be more of a blue color, or sometimes purple. It's more blue than anything, but it is stunning. Let me wrap this around my neckline. Ooh! I'm noticing too here you have vermeil rose gold over sterling. So you have this extender that's done in vermeil rose gold over sterling. And then of course, 70 carats of moonstone. These are called rondelle beads. And the rondelle beads, ladies and gentlemen, are actually hand faceted. So we talked about facets. That's how you cut the gemstone. Even a bead can be faceted. Most of the time you don't see facets on a bead. Usually they just leave them polished and cut. When they facet a bead, entirely new level, especially ones with light play. $38.99. This is a top pick. 5-star reviews. Everybody loves moonstone. Everybody loves gemstones that just have the ability to glow like labradorite. If that's the case for you, make sure you take advantage. This is on clearance. The original price on this was actually $60. So to get it for $38.99, that is a sensational deal. Thank you all so much. I know I'm kind of rushing through this little presentation, but I think it's important that you had the chance to see that very last item. If there was anything that you were interested in, perhaps I was kind of moving through each item and you wanted to watch the presentation fully and not necessarily, go off and buy something and miss it, I would say go back. Go back and take a look at each item, read the details, notice how exclusive the price cuts are, and take advantage. Thank you so much for joining us during the live stream here at Shop LC. Whether you're watching on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, really appreciate you staying tuned in. I know it's a lot. Again, these shows online, 2 hours is a long time. So thank you. It's been a pleasure. I'm Jessica Maldonado. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll more than likely see you next Tuesday. Take care. God bless. Mwah.
Come on. There we go. It's always hard to press that little button.
Good job.
Thank you.
Sorry if I scrolled through stuff.
No, it's cool.
I'm getting adjusted to it too.
No problem.
Especially since you've been here, you've seen everyone kind of, I guess, come and go and learn. And I was
this is all new for
like,
us. No. This is all new for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we haven't been doing these live
you're
shows.
Awesome.
Thank you.